And also special horizontal edition now with chat. If you want to catch what's going on, you can come to the chat. We are live today. We are learning how to garden. We have a timer. We're going to be using the Spoaks Method and setting this timer 15 minutes. As I set this timer, I'm going to be talking to you about the Spoaks Method. I'm going to be selling you a product that you're going to want to buy for free, and that is my free patented Spoaks Method. A great way to garden in 15 minutes. So without further ado, I'm going to set this timer and oh, 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 17 minutes. Ah! One moment. Hold on. Okay, now 15 minutes. Here we go. 14, 15. Okay, here we go. Put your gloves on because you're gonna want to get in on this action. It's time to glove up. Uh, I've got a lot of work to do. I do realize one of the things that I don't want to do is I don't want to spend all of my time walking up and down this hill. So if it needs to go up there, I do have a staging area. Bagheera, as you can see, Bagheera is watching it. So let me not let the timer go by any further. I am working in this area over here. I have already collected a big, large chunk of weeds. So let me gather that up. Oh yeah, baby. This is what I did this on the tall show, the vertical show. This is the horizontal show. So we'll see who gets more weeds. Them or you guys or them. Okay, you can see me. Not my best camera work, but you don't have to do. You can kind of see me. That was a good pull. It's one of the famous ones. This one's red green grass. Has these long nodes. We got it. We got it. Chalk one up for Team Horizontal. This is all just a mess. Okay, so the Spoaks Method. We started the timer already. So now we showed up. We're here. And the P for the Spoaks Method starts for plan. So our plan was to set a timer, focus on a specific area, and then bust it out. So that's what we're doing. And you're here along watching us. You've got the bird's eye view right here in the mist. Hopefully you can see. But we're just doing some more gardening. This right here is echinacea, so that is one that is not a weed. And then this is another echinacea plant here that's not a weed. So I want to be careful about that. But basically, the reason I'm saying echinacea is because these are the echinacea seed heads from a plant that's right there. You can't see. So over the season, those fell over, dumped their seeds in here, and now I've got some baby echinacea plants. So that's pretty cool. So as I'm getting rid of some of the other plants that I don't want, I want to keep the echinacea. We can move them. We can move them later. We can move them right now if we wanted to. But this demonstration is just about tidying up the little patio area, setting your timer, showing up, having a plan, making some observations. So that's where it comes into play. Knowing there's an echinacea right here, or two, or three, or four. Knowing those are here, as I'm pulling these other weeds out, I can just be mindful of those babies and not evict those ones until we're maybe ready. So like if we wanted to maybe change up what's planted in the bed, we could. I'm pulling a lot of morning glory. I'm seeing a lot of morning glory. But I know I do have these echinaceas in here. I see some more echinacea seed heads. So hey, maybe we'll get some echinaceas coming up here in the future. Some more echinaceas. But for right now, that's good. That's a good use of my time, 15 minutes wise. And so 15 minutes is good. It's not too short, it's not too long. You can get a lot accomplished in 15 minutes. Oh, but I like to just make observations. I like to look around. What do I see? If what doesn't look pleasing to the eye, that's one of the big things with gardening, is you just use your own eyeballs. You don't have to have someone tell you what to do. You just look at it and you're like, oh, I have to do something. You know what I mean? Like, I knew as a ooh, that was a good pull. Good pull. Didn't give me much fight, really. Wasn't too hard of a pull. But good pull meaning I was successful. And I got the whole taproot. Good pull. Good pull. Chalk another one up for Team Horizontal. If you're scoring at home or if you're scoring in the Discord chat, that's another one for Team Horizontal. This is some mint I'm pulling up here. I'm making observations. I don't want to reach down here and just grab my zucchini plant that I planted last week that won me the award that you're going to find out at the end of this episode. I don't want to do that. That would be way too clumsy. And that's not what I'm going for. That's not the aesthetic, as the kids say. That's not what it's giving. I'm going for showing up, having a plan, making observations, seeing if that plan needs to be adjusted at all, taking action, keeping after it, keep going, keep looking for things, keep looking for places to grow. They would say this is in theater, they would say this is bad blocking. So, hopefully, my years of theater training is paying off and I'm projecting so that you can hear me as I pull these weeds. Medium good pull, not a full pull. This was not a full. Easy. Oh man, I got a good pull. You see it? That's a good pull. That's a great pull right there. But you do want to reclaim some of your dirt. You don't want to just. Yeah, you would be a broke person if you kept throwing all that dirt out. So, reclaim your dirt. But that's the kind of pull. That's the kind of pull that'll get you in the Clumsy Hall of Fame right there. Okay, yes. So, big news of the week. Huge news of the week. Your spokesperson, went and started a TikTok. I started a TikTok account. Now, hear me out. I am not leaving you. We have just got this journey started. I had just figured out the right way to turn on my camera. So I am by no means leaving you. But I have been doing some TikToking, using some of their features. I do like it. It does kind of jive with my avant-garde kind of weirdo, never know what to expect persona that I have and create. So yeah, just looking for weeds at this point. It looks like, for right now, it looks like the other team is going to win. But what's my timer? 6 minutes. 6 minutes. If I was like a Steven Spielberg, we would be like, doom. Your emotions would be so high. You'd be like, and now, what can he get done in 6 minutes? This crazy garden of his. How much trash will he find? How much trash? Where did that trash even come from? We are live. This is a live show. Thank you for joining me. We are doing the Spoaks Method here. Basically, we're setting a timer for 15 minutes. And I garden pull all the weeds I can possibly find. And I garden. I collect a pile. And then I compare my results with myself. It's like I'm ghost racing in Mario Kart. I am ghost racing myself. But I'm doing that for your entertainment. I'm pulling this stuff out. This is for you. This is for you. I'm doing this for you. We got 5 minutes to go. I see some more of these woolly weeds. This is not weeds. This thing right here. Okay, I got you. I hear what you're saying. Oh, shut you down. I'm gonna shut you down. Can you see it now? This area right here is not. This is not any weeds. These are happy, healthy echinacea plants. 4 of them to count. 4 of them to count. Echinacea is beautiful. It's also over here. You may be able to see it right there. I don't know. I'll do you a solid and I will show you after we get done with this. Okay, so this is the little cat perch, but I noticed some weeds growing under it. So let's see if we can get a good pull. Oh, yes. Good pull. Good job, Spokesy. Good pull. So the Spoaks Method, show up, have a plan, make some observations, see if you need to update that plan. You know, like, here's an example of how that works. I need to garden. And I'm like, I gotta get out there. And then the plan, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna work in this bed, or I'm gonna plant these things, or I'm gonna harvest this stuff, or whatever. I'm gonna weed in this area. Whatever your plan is. And you show up, and it's pouring down rain, and you're like, I can't do that. I can't garden in the rain. So then that's you making an observation, you know, you're observing that it's raining and you're like, I can't. And so then you update your thing. So what could you garden? Is there an area that's not, maybe is there a covered area in your garden somewhere that you could work on just for 15 minutes? Maybe the front porch has got a little nicer space. Maybe you're not even doing outdoor yard gardening. Maybe you're doing I don't know, maybe you collect comics for a living and your garden is a nice, well organized comic box. Whatever, you just show up, you make a plan, you observe, you take actions, you keep after it, you keep going, you keep pushing on, you keep seeing other things that need to be gardened. I see a pile over here. Look, I got this big garden cart. That's a mess. But right here, I see this right in front of me. I'm here, you're here. I'm gonna make you shorter. You're gonna come down to like grandkid size. Here you go. You're coming down to grandkid size. Okay, you're down here on my grandkid's level. Maybe. He's not quite walking yet, but he will. I promise you. Ooh. Was that a good pull, children? You guys tell me. Was that taproot I see? Well, then I think it was a good pull. If you've been gardening for a little bit and it's maybe getting close to that 15 minutes and you're not really an experienced gardener and you're starting to get tired, it's okay to be tired. It's okay. I'm tired. Now I'm tired, and that's why I kind of I saw some, you know, the whole time I'm doing the Spoaks Method, I made an observation. I said, hey, over there's some weeds that I can maybe pull. Oh, not a good pull. Little bit, but not all of it. You see, most of it is still there in the ground. Not what I would call not a good pull. But you're making observations, you know, you're like, I see this happening, I see this. I want to change this about my yard. I see this stuff growing. I don't want this stuff growing there. I want to do it differently. I want this to be in a different space. This cart would look better if it wasn't out here. You know, all that kind of stuff. So, but find you a space where you can be comfortable, because part of gardening is finding the piece of it. It's not all just gripping and ripping, you know. Sometimes it's just seeing something that's not in place and saying, hey, you don't need to grow here. We don't need you growing here. And if you get real tired of that same over and over again, you can start saying, hey, what do we want to grow here? Because the reason, a lot of times, the reason we get the weeds that we get is because, well, we're not growing something there. And the way Mother Nature works is that I made it. I made it to 15 minutes, so let's get to the next part, but I'll finish what I was thinking. So the way Mother Nature works is that she's soil. Her earth, her bare earth, her skin, it's soil by nature, and that soil is made to grow the plants that are native to those areas. And so it's just this perpetual motion machine. When plants come in contact with soil, they grow. When plants grow, they produce seed, they drop seed into the soil. And it's just this constant cycle of life. The thing about life is that you don't really want to consider weeds, not weeds or whatever. You just want to grow. You want to have the things growing in your life that you want growing there. And like habits, if you have good habits, and you're growing good habits, they're going to be growing in the garden of your soul, and it's just going to become constantly who you are. You're not even going to have to think about, 10 years from now, you're not even going to think about what you're growing, because you've just been spending all this time working away on yourself, or on your garden, or on your hobby, or on your job, or on your family, or on your, video game, whatever you do to do with. But anyway, that's where I was going with that. Thanks for listening to me while I did 15 minutes of garden. As you can see, let me take my glove off. I'll turn it around, give you guys a quick little. We made it all the way around the court, this side of the patio here. Made it all the way around, did some bucket work, came all the way around, did not touch the garden cart, but found some stuff over here that we could work on our knees. So making everything beautiful, one thing at a time. We got a new board today. This is our Clumsy Garden Show board. The Clumsy Garden Show. Take a screenshot, everybody. That's our logo for the day. Okay. Now we're going to do the segment I like to call Between the Bins. I need to take my glove off. If it makes you feel any better, you are joining me. Oh man, I can already hear the critics. If it makes you feel any better, you are joining me sideways. But if it makes you feel any better, you are joining me from a bale of hay. You gardener, you out of time gardener, you. Okay, great observation, great demonstration today. You guys got to see me pull weeds for 15 minutes and talk about the Spoaks Method. The Spoaks Method means it's an acronym. It stands for show up, have a plan, make some observations once you're there, take actions on those observations that you're making, and keep after it, keep going, and then share your results. You can share your results with me on our community page here on YouTube, or you can find us on Facebook or TikTok if you're lucky. But the 15 minutes of gardening, the key techniques is to set a timer and be present. Okay, question number 1 for the Between the Bins segment. This is Between the Bins. I'm your host, spokesperson, and we are between the bins. When is the best time to 15-minute garden? One person asked. When is the best time to 15-minute garden? The best time to 15-minute garden is any time, really. I wouldn't recommend gardening in the middle of the night. It is a little bit more complicated. It does require lighting, etc. So for the most part, just make sure it's light out. Morning gardening's nice. Morning gardening is beautiful. Afternoon gardening is nice. I do garden in the afternoon when I get off of work. I come home and do a little bit of decompressing and doing some gardening work. So whatever time fits best for your busy schedule. Question number 2, where is the best place to start a 15-minute garden? Really, the best place to start a 15-minute garden is the place where you feel the most comfortable, you feel the most at peace. You want your garden to be a place that you want to run to anytime you need have anxieties, anytime you're feeling stressed. Even if it's going to your garden in your mind when you're somewhere else, to have that familiarity with your garden and your space so that you can just, with you close your eyes, you can just take yourself back and bring yourself back to a safe space where you hear the birds chirp, you feel the breeze, you hear the crickets, you hear the cicadas. It's a peaceful place. So like the idea is the more you nurture time back here, the better off you're going to be when you get in stressful situations out there in the world, because you're going to get into situations and you're going to feel anxious or whatever. Without actually traveling back to your garden, you can in your mind take a 30-second break and remember the last time you were in your garden. You can close your eyes. You can listen to those familiar bird calls. In my case, you can hear some dudes mowing their grass. You can start thinking about your breath. Start taking relaxing breaths. Pretty soon you feel all your stress is just melting away when you're in your garden. So finding a nice peaceful place to garden is the best place to start, because you know when you go there before you ever even start working, you know you'll be at peace. Does it have to be 15 minutes? Great question. And no, it doesn't. It can be longer than 15 minutes. It can be shorter than 15 minutes. The reason it's 15 minutes for me, and the reason I advise for 15 minutes, is because in 15 minutes you can get your heart rate enough to where the doctors will give you credit for light to medium range cardio. If you're doing some serious gardening where you got the shovels out and you're digging holes and it's a 15 minutes of sheer chaos, you can definitely get into high cardio, especially if you're doing any kind of hauling or transporting any soil or composts, anything like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's a great workout, great exercise. It doesn't have to be 15 minutes. It can be 10 minutes. It can be 5 minutes. It can be what you can do. If you can only garden for 5 minutes a day, do that. Because if you keep showing up and keep doing it for 5 minutes a day, eventually you'll get to a place where you can do it for 6 minutes a day, and so on and so forth, so we can find a good spot. My goal here, and hopefully as you follow along, my goal is to develop a 4-season garden, one that we can garden day in and day out, January through December. Obviously January, December, February, there are some different gardening activities, but even then I hope to still have some lettuces going, maybe a greenhouse started, but yeah, so 15 minutes you can start with. If you have big goals like me, you would need to pepper in some more time. You couldn't do it in just one 15-minute session. Question number 4, what do you garden if you don't have a yard? That is a great question, because some people are in condos, some people are in apartments, some people don't even have a patio. So how do they garden? There's some things you can garden, like a sand garden or a rock garden. Those are just simple little gardens you can start. You don't have to worry about a lot of management, but it can help you be a place to decompress, a place to unwind. And you can also think about some indoor solutions, like maybe aquaponics system, or maybe a fish tank. Maybe that would be nice. Also, you could do like a shelf garden right there on your window shelf, preferably on a south-facing window. You want the plants to get enough light. Or you could start like a cactus, succulent garden. One of those that are low maintenance, but it can still remind you to show up, be present, have a plan, make observations, take actions, keep after it, and share your results. Okay, well that does it for Between the Bins. The challenge of the week this week is I challenge you to go out there and do 15 minutes of gardening, share your results, take a before, do the work, take an after, share the results so I can see, so we all can see in the community page. We can give you that encouragement, those thumbs up, and we can keep you going. As you heard, I did take the jump into TikTok. I'm on TikTok now as spokes.person at TikTok or whatever it's called, spokes.person. Look for me there. Follow me if you're interested, and we'll be having a lot of fun with that interface. But the clip of the week this week comes from YouTube. It was a clip that I called Plant Shock is Real. Basically, it was just me. Here, I'll recreate it. So I was walking, doing the old classic walking garden. I showed up. I didn't really have a plan except just to walk around the garden. I noticed this plant right there in shock, and the leaves and everything were all like, ugh. And so then for me, the William Dafoe in me kind of got shocked, and then I did some sneaky camera work, and I came clodding over here, and I was like, did some silly characters and whatnot. But for what it's worth, it got me the views. And you clicked like, you liked it, people stuck with it. So that's the clip of the week this week. With that brings us to the end of our show. This has been the Vertical Show. Thank you guys for being with me. Thank you guys for following along. I'm now going to jump over to Facebook. Somebody requested that I do a Vertical Show over there. So we'll see you soon. Love you guys. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. Bye. Team Vertical!